DreAllDay.com.
Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What that is the go-getter energy that moves me, you, him, and her, everyone else, everyone out there to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together in one bundle, one package, one mindset, one method, one philosophy, one show. This masterclass you are tuned into right now that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic, there are no guarantees in the game. Somebody told you there were guarantees in the game. If you are waiting on a guarantee in the game, I'm gonna let you know you are waiting in vain, because there is nothing guaranteed in the game that you're in. I don't care what game it is. There is no guarantee. Now, this is a catch-22 situation for many people when you realize, when you come to accept that there are no guarantees in whatever profession or vocation you decide to get in, whether it be sports, entrepreneurship, the business world, even when it comes to relationships and dealing with other people. It's a catch-22 for many people when you come to understand there are no guarantees, because many people out there, maybe you, do not like incurring anything that feels like it may be a risk. Any situation where you may have to put something up, you may have to invest something, but you're not going to get anything back. I'm talking about risk in multiple episodes here. I'll refer you to Masterclass number 1342, When in Doubt, Take the Risk. Masterclass number 836, How to Mentally Minimize Risk. And Masterclass number 389, the topic is risk taking. You cannot dunk without jumping. But people don't like to take on anything that feels like a risk because they don't like the idea of investing something, time, money, attention, energy, focus, and then not getting anything back for that investment. Everybody wants to get a return on their investment, but you have to understand that sometimes your investment is going to come up empty, because that's just life. That's just the game that we're in, which is what the whole topic is here today. And what happens with people who are afraid to take on anything that seems like a risk, they compensate for this fear of risk, or what they consider to be risk. Everything is risk, actually. But the things that they consider to be risk, they compensate for them by seeking out, quote, sure things, close quote, in life. They seek out these sure thing guarantees in life. But here's the problem with seeking out a sure thing guarantee. There is no such thing as a sure thing guarantee. Whatever you think is a guarantee is not actually a guarantee. Whatever you think is 100% probability that is going to work, there is not a 100% probability that is going to work. All right, there's anything that you do in life, there's a chance that it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Maybe the probability is high that it will go your way, and that will be a smart decision for you to hedge your bets, but it's never guaranteed. Every single day in this life, you are taking a risk in some way, shape, or form. That's what we're talking about here today. Point number one, topic once again, there are no guarantees in the game. Number one, if you're waiting on a guarantee, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to take all the suspense out of the rest of your life by giving you this information right here. You will never achieve anything. If you're waiting on a guarantee to do what you want to do in life, or to go after your goals, or to get started on some plan that you have, and you're waiting on a guarantee to get started, you will never achieve anything, let alone that plan. You're not going to achieve anything, period, because you need a guarantee first, because that's impossible to wait on a guarantee means you're waiting in vain. Nothing, the only thing guaranteed is death. So if you're waiting on a guarantee of death, that will happen. All right, that one you will succeed at. Anything other than that, are you going to come up short? Understand that risk is a part of the process. You take a job, there's a risk that they might fire you. Or you start a business, there's a risk that you might not make any money. You get in your car, there's a risk that a drunk driver will slam into the back or the side or the front of your vehicle. You cross the street, there's a risk that somebody might speed up and hit you with their car. You eat some food, there's a risk that somebody poisoned that food, or that food was not cleaned properly, and you're going to get sick off eating that food. There is a risk inherent in every single thing that you do. You walk into a building, there's a risk that that building was not built properly, or that there's some crack in the foundation that you don't know about and you can't do anything about until the building is collapsing with you inside of it. There's a risk in everything. Since most people are afraid of risk, they never take on anything that could possibly be a risk. They never stretch past their normal comfort zone space. And listen, being in your comfort zone, there are risks there as well, but most people just don't see it that way. So what most people see as risk, they stay away from, and therefore they stay in their comfort zone where there is risk, but they don't notice it. They don't even know that it's there. And this is all sad but true. And it doesn't mean that you need to take on reckless risk. Okay, what I'm telling you here today that since there are no guarantees and that you must embrace the fact that there will be risk in anything you do, that doesn't mean you need to become reckless and just take on random risks just because, and this is the way that you need to live. No, but you do have to understand that anything you go after in life, you must run the risk of losing every time you aim at winning. I mean, part of what encompasses winning is the fact that you might lose. Winning is as fun as it is. Any of you who's in any type of competitive arena in life, or any of you who are just competitors, what makes winning so fun is the fact that you could have lost. That's what makes it fun. And anyone who has ever, any competitors here who have ever lost before, and I'm sure you have, every competitor is going to lose one point or another. If you've lost before, that's what makes winning that much sweeter. And when you lose, depending on how competitive of a person you are that much more driven to win the next time out. It is just the yin and the yang, the balance of life. We need both sides of it. The universe demands that balance. Night needs day. Night only feels good because we had a daytime. The daytime only feels good because we had a nighttime. I'm in Miami right now, looking out the window. I can see the rainstorm that is approaching from the west right now. So the bright sunny days when it's hot and humid and no clouds in the sky, they feel that much better because of days like this when the rainstorms are hitting and you don't want to be caught outside and you don't want to get soaked if you ain't got no umbrella. The balance, that's the balance of the universe. What goes up has to come down. To be great at something, you have to sacrifice somewhere else. These are all part of the balance of life. And the Michael Jordan documentary that came out in spring of 2020, Michael talked about this at the end of one of the episodes. He said, some people may see one particular episode where many of his teammates were interviewed, Jordan's former teammates were interviewed, and they were saying, hey, Michael was kind of a dick to us. He was kind of an asshole. He would kind of push us around, not in like a bully type of way. Some people may see it as a bully type of way, but he was very demanding as a teammate. He was very demanding of his teammates to bring their best, to work their hardest, to try to build up their toughness in practice so that they would be ready to deal with the challenges that they would face from the other teams in the NBA, from their opponents. And Michael Jordan explained, his way of explaining why he was like that was like, look, the reason I pushed my teammates in this particular way because I wanted them to be mentally and physically tough enough for when we had to play against the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks and the Utah Jazz and whoever else was trying to beat us, the Miami Heat, whoever we were trying to face who was trying to beat us. They need to be ready to deal with those guys. So if they could deal with me, then they would have no problem dealing with the other guys on the other teams. And some people may look at that and say, well, no, that was kind of wrong, or you were too pushy, or you were kind of a jerk to your teammates. And Michael said, well, the reason why anyone would even think that is because they never won anything. See, the people who have won, they understand that there is a way to do this. But the people who have won, they would understand that there is a way that it needs to be done. Let's put it that way. There's a way that your teammates need to be pushed and cajoled and made to bring their best effort, because if you don't push them, they're just not going to do it. And Michael got kind of emotional at the end of this particular episode. If you watched the docuseries, you saw this. You can look it up or go watch it on ESPN or wherever you can find it. And he explained this. This was just the sacrifice that I decided to make. I decided to sacrifice, this is Jordan, paraphrasing Michael Jordan. I decided to sacrifice being a nice guy and being looked at as a fun, loving, good, quote unquote, good teammate. I sacrificed that for posterity's sake so that I could instead say that I won every single time. And I mean, Michael did take some losses early on, but once he got the hang of winning, he just kept winning. And that was the balance that Michael Jordan said to him, it was worth it. Now, is it worth it for you? Again, what are you willing to give up in order to get something? That's just a question you have to answer for yourself, just in life, period. But understand that there is something that you have to put in order to get something out. That's what we're talking about here today. We're talking about the topic of risk. Moving on to point number 2. Today's topic is there are no guarantees in life. Number 2, people seek guarantees as an excuse for who or what to blame when they fail. This is the way I see people asking for guarantees, because I think everybody quite simply understands that there aren't really any guarantees in life. I mean, what could you possibly guarantee to somebody? Can you guarantee someone, if you teach a real estate course, can you guarantee someone that they're going to land their first real estate deal within 30 days and they're going to make at least $10,000 in cash? If you could guarantee that, well, you might as well just be making all the money yourself. Why would you even spread the wealth? Why would you even share that wealth with anybody else? Why not just keep all the money for yourself instead of giving it to other people to take your information and run with it, if you really could guarantee it? The reason is because you can't guarantee it. I got a book called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. I had a player once say to me, Dre, can you guarantee me that if I get your book that I'm going to get a job playing overseas? I said, hell no, I'm not guaranteeing you the goddamn thing. Now, can you play? I'm gonna give you the blueprint. I'm gonna tell you how it's done. I did it, but I can't guarantee that you're gonna get a job. Are you actually gonna apply everything that's in the book? Just getting the book is not gonna do anything. Are you gonna read it? Are you gonna apply it? Are you gonna retain the information? Are you gonna do the work? Are you gonna continue to improve as a basketball player? All of those you're gonna need to go along with having a book. Or a book itself never did anything for anybody. Now, if you use what's in the book, well, first of all, you gotta read the book. Then if you use what's in the book consistently, then you can get some results. But you want me to guarantee that for you? No. And people will seek out guarantees. They say, well, you can't guarantee me that I'm going to get a result, so why should I sign up for your course? Or why should I come to your seminar? Or why should I listen to your podcast? Or why should I buy your product or your service? Or why should I hire you as a coach if you can't guarantee me that I'm going to get a result? People use that as an excuse to either have someone to blame when they do not get a result because they were always planning on failing from the beginning, or they use that as an excuse to do nothing. Okay, so I'm just not going to do anything because, the Equinox can't guarantee me that I'm going to have six-pack abs by the end of the summer. So why should I pay them $150 a month for a membership? You can't guarantee me that I'm going to get in shape. Why should I pay for my membership to Equinox? Well, listen, what's another place? Listen, vegan restaurant. You can't guarantee me that I'm going to lose 50 pounds and be in great physical shape and not have a heart problem anymore, according to my doctor. You can't guarantee me that. Why should I go vegan? I'm gonna just keep eating cheeseburgers and fries the way I've always been. You can't guarantee me that anything's gonna change. So this is what keeps, and I know that sounds silly for some of you, but understand there are people out there who think like this. Since you cannot guarantee me a specific outcome, an outcome that's based on my actions, you can't guarantee me that I'm gonna take certain actions, which makes no sense. Therefore, I'm not gonna do anything. And this is how most people stay exactly where they are in life. If you want to be a leader in life, or just a leader of yourself, forget leading other people, just being a leader of yourself in life, you have to be willing to take on responsibility. What does responsibility mean? Responsibility is a compound word combined of two words, ability and respond. If you want to lead in life in any level, you must take on responsibility. I talked about the privilege of responsibility. Masterclass number 1071. The title is The Privilege of Responsibility. Masterclass number 603. You must be responsible for you. And in Masterclass 359, you have a gift and a responsibility. If you want to lead in life, responsibility is your duty. All right, that comes with it. All right, that's the tax. When you buy something at the store, they have sales tax. You can't buy it without paying the tax. So if you want to buy leadership, responsibility comes with it. It's a package deal. If you want this ability, you got to take on the responsibility. You want the ability to do what you want to do and get the outcomes that you want, you must be willing to take on the responsibility that comes with that ability. Point number 3. Responsibility comes with that ability. Point number 3. Today's topic is there are no guarantees in life. Point number 3, no guarantees in the game, rather. Number 3, taking a risk is not a guarantee of success. I want to make sure I'm putting that out there. I'm telling you that the risk is inherent in everything that you do. So you're going to have to take a risk whether you want to or not. But understand, just because you take a risk does not mean you are guaranteed to get success. As I already told you, ain't no guarantees in this game. That's the whole topic here today. Just because you start taking on risks does not mean that you are guaranteeing yourself success. But you are putting yourself in a better position to achieve success by taking on risk and being open to the fact that you're taking on the risk. Because you're taking on the risk whether you want to take it on or not. Or whether you think you're taking on a risk or not, you are taking on a risk, okay? But once you open yourself up to it and you're no longer afraid of the risk and you embrace the fact that there is risk involved in what you're doing, you are opening yourself up to a higher level of probability that you will achieve what you want. Not taking a risk, all right, here's where you can get a guarantee, because you are guaranteed to fail. If you stay away from every possible risk, everything that could possibly not work out in your favor, everything that has a balance to it, meaning there is a possibility of success and a possibility of coming up short, if you stay away from all of those things and just stay in your little box, your little comfort zone for the rest of your life, I guarantee you will fail. If anybody can defy that and prove me wrong, show me. Document the process and show me. Anyone who is not willing to take a risk, anyone who's not willing to stress themselves and step outside of their box and step outside of their comfort zone, you are guaranteed failure. I promise you will fail. So the question is, what are you going to take on as a risk in your life in order to make success possible? You don't have to take on every risk that you see. You don't have to do everything that someone offers to you. You don't have to go out and become just a lifelong daredevil just because you decide you're taking on risk. You have to ask yourself in a calculated way, where am I going to take on some risk in a way that makes sense for me in order to make success possible? Someone who decides they want to become a professional athlete, you are taking on risk because you know how they say only one in a million athletes makes it as a professional in their sport. That is literally the numbers. It's 1 in a million makes it. That's a risk. You are taking on the risk that you're going to put all that time and effort and energy into trying to become a professional athlete, and there's a good chance that you won't make it. Are you willing to take that risk in order to go for the reward? That's a question you have to answer not with your words. You got to answer that question with your actions. But that is a risk that you have to take. If you start a business, listen, a whole lot of businesses fail. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years, meaning they start and within 5 years they are out of business. That business no longer exists. They are no longer serving customers. You can't buy anything from them even if you wanted to. Are you willing to start a business knowing that most businesses fail? Most marriages end in divorce. Are you willing within, a certain number of years? Are you willing to get married anyway? These are the risks that you got to take. You got to ask yourself, where does it make sense for me to take on a risk because I want the success strongly enough and I'm equipped to take on that risk in order to get my success. All right, don't just do it because you just want it. You got to have some tools. All right, don't just go into it blind. All right, the show is called Work on Your Game after all. Think about the life that you'll have if you take on no risk. That means everything that you already have in your life is not going to change. You don't even have to think about it. All you got to do is just look around at your current life. You take on no risks, you will be exactly where you are now. You will still be here next year. You'll still be there in 3 years, and you'll still be there in 20 years. Same spot, just older. That's all. Actually, you'll probably be worse because the world's going to move forward while you're still standing still. So you don't really have to think about it. You don't have to imagine it. All you got to do is look around right now. You'll be in the same spot 2 years from now if you take on no risk. You will have no new experiences. You will not advance in any way. You will not pass go. You will not collect $200. Wouldn't that be a boring life? I mean, is that the life that you want to live? Is that where you want to be? Do you want to be the same person in 5 years that you are today? Or do you think you can get a little bit smarter, a little bit more experience? Maybe you can know some better people. Maybe you could be doing some better things. Maybe you could step your life up, step your game up in some different ways. I mean, who wants to live a life of stagnation and staying the same and not doing anything that stretches them past where they currently are? Understand that every single thing in life, ladies and gentlemen, is either growing or is dying. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're building or you're destroying yourself, not other people, yourself. What do you want to do? Let's recap today's class, which is there are no guarantees in the game. This is a catch-22 situation for many people because they do not like incurring anything that smells like risk, where they may make an investment and not get a return, so they seek out sure things. The problem is there's no such thing as a sure thing. Point number one. If you're waiting on a sure thing, a guarantee, you will never achieve anything in life. Risk is a part of the process, so anyone who is afraid of risk and thusly never stretches past their normal comfort zone space, they will not go far. And it doesn't mean you need to become reckless and take on reckless chances, but it does mean you need to figure out where are you willing to take on the risk of failing in order to open yourself to the opportunity of winning. The universe demands balance. Night needs day. What goes up comes down. To be great at something, you got to sacrifice it. Point number two. People seek guarantees as an excuse for who or what to blame when they fail or as a reason to do nothing. Either way, they're going to come up short in life. You're blaming other people for your lack of success, or you're doing nothing because you're afraid of risk and you're just basically becoming a failure by default. Either way, that's not a good outcome for you. I wouldn't think so. Not for someone who listens to a show called Work on Your Game. If you want to be a leader in life, leader of people, or even a leader of yourself, you must understand you have to take on responsibility. Responsibility is a compound word combined of two words, respond and ability. If you want the ability to respond, you must take on responsibility. It means you have to have ownership of the things that happen in your life, which means even when they are risky, you got to own it. Point number three, taking a risk is not a guarantee of success, but not taking on any risk is a guarantee of failure. So what are you going to take on a risk? Where in your life are you going to take on a risk in order to make success possible for you? Think about the life you have, you take on no risk. Actually, you don't have to think about it. All you got to do is look around because you'll be in the exact same spot, only worse because the world will have moved forward and you'll still be in the same spot looking like a museum piece, collecting nothing but dust. Is that what you want? Work on your game. Dre all day.